I'm Blair Gilbert from MrHardware.com and Gilbert's Pro Hardware in St. Clair Shores, here to show you how easy it is to change a bent garage door hinge wheel assembly. Garage door repair, when the garage door is down, is still quite easy as long as you're careful and you're not doing it when it's up. You get the garage door down, it's on the ground, it's much safer. These hinges on the garage door come in different spacings from the edge of the material to the center of the hole. This is the number 1. That's the hinge we're going to work on. I'm going to show you the different hinges so that if you need to repair one, here's how you're going to know which one to get. Here's a base hinge. The shaft is real close to the door. That's the bottom hinge. The number 1, the shaft now is about 3/4 of an inch from the edge of the door. A number 2 is a little further from the door. And as we come up, we get further from the door and further from the door. So when you're changing a garage door hinge, now you know there's 4 different kinds of hinges. It's not the same one on all of them, but they are very easy to replace. Garage door is lowered. We don't have to worry about anything coming apart when we take off just one hinge at a time. So the door is down, there is no load, the door is resting on itself. So I can undo this hinge and take it out and put the new one in without worrying about dropping anything or getting hurt. With the screws out, I can just rotate the hinge in the wheel assembly. This hinge has been bent and joined the other side. Sometimes when you're working on a garage door, it's because the wheel is bad and the bearing in the wheel goes bad. So in this case, my wheel is still fine. It's the hinge that's bad. And you notice that the wheel floats. And you see how I have it heavily oiled. The purpose for that is when the garage door goes up and down, these wheels come in and go out of the hinges every time the door goes up and down. The garage door actually floats as it goes up and down because these tracks aren't perfect when the garage door guy installed them. So when the door comes up, the wheel has to go back and forth in this holder. Make sure that this axle has been oiled. Just the hinges that are different. These rollers are all the same. Just a point of reference, when you oil the hinge, you also oil the shaft of the wheel assembly. One thing to notice, my replacement hinge is wider than my damaged hinge, which is kind of nice. It means it's going to be a little wider spread. It's going to be stronger than the old one was. It's also going to mean that the holes probably aren't going to line up. So all I care about is that the center of the shaft is at the center of where the 2 doors meet, as you can see. So I've got a couple of holes. Actually, I'm kind of lucky. These holes are going to line up. All right, so ready, so doors down, tracks lined up. I can drop my old screws back in, right where they were. I'm careful not to over tighten these and strip out the door itself. As long as the door is down and you only do one hinge at a time, you don't have to worry about the door kicking out or killing you or anything. And now you know that there are 3 or even 4 kinds of hinges for your garage door. These rollers are all the same. The finishing touches, now that I have this new hinge in, it's just raw steel on steel. So I want to get a couple drops of oil on the pivots, and I keep a fresh drop of oil on the shaft because the door relatively floats on that wheel. The oil on the shaft keeps it moving freely, makes the door open quieter and smoother. Quick tip from MrHardware.com.